No idea why the game crashed. It wouldn't surprise me though if it's just because we've been putting the game kind of through the ringer. If we've done a lot today already.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, big brain time.
Current time is 6:29.
Yeah. So we'll just be waiting at that 6:30 mark.
What is the purpose of this anyway?
Is this just so they know how many hours you've been playing? In some like weird old school analog way? I don't know. It's weird. But then again, a lot of the things this game has done to us have been weird. Yeah, but while we're waiting for the turn of the clock. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you mean, hang on? Hang on. What? Okay. Okay. No!
Wow.
There you go, for all you people out there watching. The game thinks you're an asshole for not respecting the content and setting your clocks. Synchronize your watches, respect the content. Yeah, no problem, game. Yeah, one of them wasn't. Okay.
A 420.
I knew that that's the only time. They have to be baiting it out of us because they know. Like 420 or 6900 or something, dude. Man. Yep, begin game. Hopefully it doesn't crash again.
Yeah. So when you boot up the game and set your favorite, I wonder if anything else.
Right.
This is the
There's more
story.
secrets.
Oh, we got that trophy!
Nice.
Welcome
Stanley
back.
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427.
Oddly enough, it
Job was
seems
simple.
canonical that the playthrough of the Stanley Parable would have one episode in it that's 2 minutes
Orders came to him
long
through a monitor.
because the stream
Tell me
like shorted out.
how long
Crashed.
to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others
Did y'all not give
considered it
Stanley some
so,
vacation time?
Stanley relished every moment.
Nah.
of his
It's being mind control,
They had
remember?
been made exactly for this job.
Yeah.
Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite
Okay,
forget.
so we're gonna try to
He had
speed
been
run
at his
it.
desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one.
You should try to get
single
the
order
door
had
one
arrived
first,
on
I
the monitor
think,
for
since
him
it's like
to
right
follow.
there.
No one had showed up to give him instructions. Call a
Then
meeting,
again,
or
I mean,
even
yeah,
say
speedrunning it's
hi.
also viable.
Never in
since-
all
So to
his
me,
years
the
at
one with
company
the
had this happened. This complete
Knocking, that could be done at
isolation.
any time.
Something
Whereas the
was
speed
very
one,
clearly
running
wrong.
one takes commitment.
Shocked, frozen solid.
Even though
Stanley
it's for
found
like
himself
essentially
unable
doing
to
it in
move
four and a
for the
half
longest
minutes.
time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped.
Click the door 5 times on the way. Just be super quick
Stanley
about it.
decided to go to the meeting.
I don't trust
Perhaps
myself
he had
that way,
simply
dude.
missed a memo.
Okay.
I'm not a
When
speedrunner,
Stanley
so I
came
don't
to a
know how
set
to
of
feel
2
about
open
this.
doors, he entered the door on his
Just
left.
go, dude. Don't stop.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
You know everything that needs to
Stanley
be done.
decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
2845 is the code, I remember.
Stepping into his manager's office,
you don't have to wait on
Stanley
him
was
to
once again
say it.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he
Oh, come on, dude! What are you doing?
with some calming new age music.
You cock blocking me. This is nice though. The nice music. Can we go to?
Oh, this is great.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the
Hey, well, we got another boyo in the stream.
There it goes. Hey.
You calling in on your mobile?
Why does it sound like it?
Ah, gotcha. You joined us just in time for a speed run.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt
I've never
more
played
free
it
to
until
think for
today, and
himself,
now I've played
to
it
question the
so
nature
many
of his
times.
job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
YouTube?
The lights
You know, I
rose
feel
on
like
an
that
enormous
calming
room
new age
packed with
music might have
television
fucked you.
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Well, and this entire moment here is just a
Did he
time
have the
sync.
strength to find
Yeah.
out? Now the monitors jumped to
Dude,
life.
I'm hitting
Their
them
true
buttons
nature
though,
revealed.
just like a real
Each
speedrunner,
bore
dude.
the number of an employee in
Just
the
like a
building.
real speed.
Stanley's co-workers. The
This is
lives
where
of
the
so
speed
many
begins.
individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions
let's
had
go.
been
Let's
manipulated
go, Stanley.
to accept it blindly?
What the fuck out the way, Stanley?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
I don't know,
with
dude.
emotions.
We've absolutely
Happy
flown
or
through
sad
it, but
or
I don't
content.
know how much
Walking,
time's actually
eating,
passed.
Working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very
Uh,
place. And as the cold reality of his past.
Well, you were in
began
the
to
meeting
sink in,
room at
Stanley
6:34
decided
and
that
it's 6:38 now.
Loading time doesn't count against us, supposedly, but
Yeah, I don't know.
no, not really.
blackness and a rising
The
chill
game
of
crashed.
uncertainty.
Once.
Well, that's not a
Was it
glitch,
over?
though. Show me the way out, game.
Yes,
Yes, here we go.
he had won.
We've done it, we've done it, we've done it. I just gotta get out there and see them polls.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened,
Yeah,
Stanley
very...
reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Right.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Yeah.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
A lot of them.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Yeah.
And that was all he needed to know.
Yeah.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
We did it. Happy boy.
Did you get it?
It's not popped yet. But they're still doing like fade out and load in.
I don't think you got it, man.
If not, I don't know how you can possibly do faster.
Unless you can get any ending.
But that's the only ending that gave us an ending trophy. Bonkers. I guess we'll go ahead and
All of
not...
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yes.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Are you really gonna do this to me?
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
The fucking description live!
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Where's 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Come on,
You got
Kevin.
this, Ray.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. Where's 415? This is actually just running around your office trying to find someone.
Now, back to door number 437.
Yes!
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know,
Oh,
a
this is
copy
great.
machine.
A copy machine.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yep. We got a lot of momentum going. This is good. This is good.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419? Where's 419? I don't know how to climb up here.
You almost had it.
This is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Dude, are you just like stroking one out?
No.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That's really amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very
Dude,
proud of
that
how
boy
far
was
we've come today.
getting into it in a different way. I'm
Man, that was
definitely
worth
happy
it.
we didn't do this on the attempted speed run.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what else we could possibly try to do now. Like, I guess we can take the bucket with us to do some of the other stuff.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
You never unplugged the phone
Stanley
with the
clutched the
bucket.
bucket
Yeah,
tightly
yeah,
to
we
his
knew.
chest. And this was not the correct way to the
There's
meeting
the
room.
base ending with
Stanley
the
had felt the
bucket.
bucket calling to him, telling him that the
Yeah.
employee
I've also
lounge
never
was simply
hit
place
the
to
on
be.
button for the
And here
brain
it was.
control
Had the
facility.
bucket turned out to be
Yeah.
correct? Was no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed
What if you
him, of course,
jumped
because
off?
buckets can't talk. But Stanley
You
chose
probably
not to
die,
think
but we
about
can
this
try that
obvious
later.
fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had
If you
spoken
do
to
die
him,
and that's an
he
ending, I wonder if that would
unthinkingly
work
did
for the
whatever
speed run.
bucket asked. But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest
Oh
friend.
shit. You.
So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Wow, you kill yourself for the bucket. I've also never jumped without the bucket. The Stanley Parable is essentially
All of his
the
co-workers
mental
were gone.
breakdown
What could it
simulator.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the
Are you going
meeting
for that
room,
death
and
ending
Stanley knew
again?
it perfectly well.
Yeah,
As
without
fast
the
as
bucket.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
So I'm guessing that also doesn't count as a ending.
Damn.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
There are
Had the
definitely
bucket
some of
turned
the
out to be
things that
correct?
we can
Was it
interact
no?
with that I
Never
feel like
mind.
it's stupid that
The
I
bucket was
found them
wrong.
already.
Stanley
The
took
cord
door
on the
his left
phone
to
seems
go
like
back
it's
to the
something that
meeting.
Yeah.
a lot of people could
No,
miss.
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
Now
It's
ride
pretty
the lift all the way
obscure.
to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
We could always do the ending where we fuck the bucket
In here,
again.
Said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Okay. I love these videos we watch in game for some
What is
reason.
Oh my
comedic
God.
timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And
Yeah,
more
boy, we
importantly,
learning.
can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters
What?
from them in a room
Yes.
of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's right, no
with
one
one of your
laughs when
arms
it's hot.
raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These
Kyle.
are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I love that line. I'm Dunny with the funny.
Jesus.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally,
The smug look
it's
on that
time to
guy's
hand out
face.
surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rough they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less
Better.
than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times.
Exactly.
Just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is.
That
With
one
these
just missed
strategies
the
at your
page
disposal,
entirely.
you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the
You
front
gut-
lines of the war
what?
to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles.
That one leg is not
All
like
of
the
us
others.
must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king
Should
of
I come
comedy.
back this
That's
way?
what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
What?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors,
Damn.
they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on?
Dunny
There
with
were
the
supposed to
funny.
be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... It's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame and how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so mental. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. Getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this.
Wow.
I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
My brain hurt.
Those instructional videos are great.
Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a map. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where are you headed to this time?
Still no one was here. Stanley
I'm
needed
guessing
the bucket's warmth and comfort now more
the
than
standard
ever.
ending?
Perhaps his boss's office was where
No,
he'd found
let's go
once.
down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
Oh,
bucket
yeah.
walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Yeah, that's usually a
He held
reassuring
the bucket
bucket.
close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket.
No.
Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
God.
This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Oh my God.
And indeed,
No.
now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's
Bucket.
me! The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his.
No.
None of them were his special bucket.
No!
To me, Stanley!
Oh my God, there's buckets everywhere.
He had to
No.
find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the
Where's
only
my
way to
bucket?
truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Fuck! No!
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
Yeah.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
There's nothing like heck yeah, my life kicks ass. The contrast. Like, I love
She
it.
backflipped all the way to work.
Oh no, Stanley's bucket. Okay, so
All of his co-workers were...
let's do
Wait,
the ending.
No, this isn't the right office, is it?
Well,
Is this Stanley's office?
where I don't turn off the mind control device.
Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Oh, wow. This would have been nice for the speed run.
It did me dirty on the speed run.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'll just have to look up how you're supposed to do that one later.
Perhaps.
Like, I can't remember what any of the others were. There's one of them that just had, 1,008.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Let's see.
Stanley
I'm trying to remember how we did
Did
the
he have
first
strength
ending.
to find
I
out?
ran into the escape room, and the office changed, and wanted me to speak into a pad that acted like I couldn't do
Now
anything
the
with it.
monitors jumped to life. Their true
Yeah.
nature. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Right?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls.
Or would he?
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
Yeah.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Whoa.
Well, that was that.
That ending's pretty gnarly. How would
The
one?
narrator was going off again.
Yeah, he went full supervillain on us.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself.
Oh, you know what? You
and
could try
constantly
taking
needed
the
support
bucket
and
to the broom
when are we
closet,
going
like you
today,
said
the
before.
bucket
Yeah.
asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfect. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk,
Lifelong
that it has to
friend,
resort
Faye.
to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I used to want to fuck the bucket, and now I don't. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There.
Hell yeah!
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This is getting lit, dude. I got my name on my bucket.
Property of Stanley.
Yeah. Still wonder about this door over here for some reason. Oh! What's happening to that panda?
It looks like it has a gun pointed at it.
Business strategy. What does that even mean? Woo! I've tried opening this door in the past and it's never worked.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
I've heard this song.
Really?
Yeah. I really like it.
Yeah. The older I get, the cooler elevator music is. And in theory, I could always go down in this elevator too.
How long is it?
Still going, boyo. Like, if there was a third button to force the doors open, I'd assume I might need to hit that, but there's just up button and down button. The music's got a whole nother element to it now? I guess I'll hit the up button and see if it does anything. It did stop it. What? This is where I was. What if I hit the down button? I think the elevator just plays music. See if the bucket does anything in the bathroom.
So the elevator just doesn't go anywhere.
Huh? Right,
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Thank you,
It would
bucket.
be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Man, I'm happy to have my bucket in here, like, legit, because this place is scary.
The reassurance bucket.
I almost got lost. Yeah.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Correct.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I have my bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
They almost made my bucket cry, dude.
No.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Was the bucket forced to light all those
He
candles?
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
Should we
Stanley
leave with the
decided
bucket
that
or
this
try to do
machinery
the
would never
nuclear
again
meltdown with
exert
the
its
bucket?
terrible power over another human life. For
I mean,
he and the bucket
I'll leave
would
the decision
dismantle
up
the
to the
controls
Perry.
for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
You gotta do it for the sassy bucket, dude.
The bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Yeah. My
Fuck
sassy.
yeah,
Stanley and the
bucket.
bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room,
What's going
lingering
on?
in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in
Stanley
darkness
Parable
isn't
2 is
really so bad,
crazy.
Stanley thought to himself.
Right?
As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
The bucket really does change every single ending.
Yes, it does.
Who would have thought the bucket would play such an important role in this?
I mean... Fuck, I guess time to do the meltdown.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. A good bucket. A strong bucket. A
Dude, it kept
humble
the
bucket,
sticker.
A committed bucket. A bucket of culture
fuck yeah.
and distinction. Stanley clutched
A
the
strong
bucket tightly
bucket.
to his chest
A humble
and
bucket.
entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's
the best
warmth and
bucket
comfort
ever,
now
dude.
more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where
If there
he'd
really
find
was an
answers.
award for best
All right,
bucket
I've
in
got
a
a
video
second
game,
sticker
man.
back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Hell yeah!
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Oh my god.
That way,
Oh my
if
god.
you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? I could
Fuck
take
yeah,
the name
dude.
calling and
You
the
get a
dismissal
bucket
of your
sticker for
kinship
your
with the
bucket?
but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I love it when the narrator just fucking walks out, dude.
You can hear him getting farther
Coming to
away.
a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah.
Right, very logical.
Yes. The most of logics. Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I have no idea, dude.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office
Oh no,
was
104
being
got
videotaped,
fired.
monitored like guinea pigs. The
But
bucket
where's
had
employee
never seen
420?
anything like this, and it very nearly burst into
Employee
tears
420.
as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything...
He's right here, boy.
Found him.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket
Guess I need
want
to take
do
the bucket
or
with
not
me
want to
into
do
the
in first
escape
place?
room.
These questions
Oh, yeah.
lived furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Forgot you did that.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept
I have no idea
his
how
own
many
life
endings
in
there are
someone
with
else's
the
control. Never!
escape room
He
to begin
squeezed
with,
the
so...
bucket tighter. His one friend
Probably
in the
just the
entire
one.
world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had
Oh.
this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in
my God.
disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The
Silly
control
birds?
buttons became active again.
Hell yeah, dude.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it
Oh, I
dawned on
love
him.
flamingos.
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along?
Whoa.
Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they
Dude,
spent
I
the
actually
rest
love
of their
these birds.
lives
Holy
here in
shit.
this
Yeah,
place,
this is
living through live
lit.
streams of the silliest
I love
birds
this one.
imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the
Is
best.
that a toucan?
And Stanley...
A toucan-like thing. I don't know what it actually is. Then is this like a weird rejected flamingo? Oh, no.
Damn, I need to watch more bird videos.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a paint.
The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's
The
warmth and
escape room?
comfort now more than ever.
Yeah.
Perhaps his Stanley, we must move on from this broom
That was like your
closet,
first
simply
ending.
because I have no
Yeah.
remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
That's sad. No more stickers.
I had to check though.
Coming to
Yeah.
a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Just a couple seconds of that banger. The way that the chick just very so slightly says, "Stanley." Or it might be the narrator for all I know.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure,
No.
it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
The bucket is like its own character, man.
Yeah.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Finally, some bucket deep lore, dude.
That's what we always wanted.
You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within. A cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we have.
True.
Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging, but the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourselves and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? That's a great picture of a bucket, dude.
To get me a bucket, man.
Dude, Bucket Man is a top-tier commodity now.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
The hubris.
Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Where's that bucket going?
To heaven.
It's getting raptured right up there. Dude, this picture shouldn't be dope, but it kind of is. 25 buckets? That's way more than 25 buckets, my dude.
Can you...
The 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets. The greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced a catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. This is more than 25!
Can't prove that.
That's awesome. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations into war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of all of it, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Okay, dude, I'm way more hyped for a bucket museum than I should be. A bucket with 2 handles, fam.
Holy shit.
This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life. Having been deemed too dangerous and risky experimental, every year dozens are put to death just for attempting it. No! People are killed for trying to create a better bucket.
The lore of the Stanley Parable world is crazy, man. Like in that instructional video, I guess the Earth was attacked by, like...
The stress bucket.
Aliens?
An analogy. Or analogy. My brain hurts. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, and lack of reassurance. Put it in the bucket. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Your stress is equal to the height of the bucket, which stress also is equal to the level of water in the bucket. Coping strategies equal holds. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. Okay. The cave bucket. Way back in the caveman days, Shada used to throw it back by thinking about that bucket dough. Cave drawing. Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures.
Man, that's pretty cool of them.
Buckets are pretty chill.
I mean, they really are.
I also like that there is caveman chanting while you look at this.
This game has given me a newfound respect for buckets.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling.
Where's my
to
Stanley
behold as
Parable
this one. It is man
edition
who should
bucket
kneel before the bucket.
Dude, I want to know what's back there. That room looked lit, whatever it is. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear of grasp that the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh, that looks like a nearly bottomless pit. For the bucket. Oh wow. A straight up Indiana Jones to that shit.
It's crazy.
There is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I.
Or did you
that will
take
right
the
this
bucket back?
terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh.
Damn.
That's some heavy shit. That's some real heavy shit.
So,
I mean, whew. I mean, there's just not even words. The things we've learned about a bucket at this point somehow.
yeah, I know. So you could go right then left before you get into the cargo room.
Right, then left. Oh, right. I've never done that. I don't know if it's actually going to do anything.
Minutes? Days?
I don't know
Centuries?
either.
Did something
I think there's
crucial happen while my
something
senses
in
were
there, I'm
turned?
sure.
He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So that is back on track, but there is this thing. Oh. New content!
Elevator!
Where does it go?
An hour of new elevator content.
I mean, if it was
But
just the
Stanley didn't
narrator
want to go back to
beatbox
the
into
office.
the
He wanted to
jazz
wander
up there.
about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's left.
It doesn't look like there's anywhere else I can go but left.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Oh, okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Okay.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh.
You got it. You got it.
Whoa.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh, that's not it, is it?
Sure seems like it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, it's gone.
So are the balloons.
Okay, I'm gonna have to end the stream there and collect myself. This is just this is a crushing blow. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I hope it's only temporary.
I gotta go. This is no. If I can remember how to do it, I'm so eat up inside.